Hello and welcome to yet another Grumpy's Rehab facility video. This one is gonna be, well, it's probably gonna be low energy one because, yeah, I'm still sick and I'm constantly tired and all that. It's just like fucking boring, honestly. But I'm gonna try to keep this real short as possible. And I'm gonna roll the intro, so let's talk about Star Citizen.
Hello, my name is Grumpy.
Right, so first off, before we start talking about Star Citizen, I gotta mention not the sponsor, but like the sponsor is me and the patrons, of course, but I'm gonna mention them in the end of the video. But we're gonna have a giveaway with like 5,000 subscribers. So if you like my content and you wanna support me, you can do that by like subscribing and watching my videos and going to the like Patreon link and all that. But also, if you want to win a free ship, basically, it's going to happen when we hit 5,000 subscribers. The second thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to drop an album, and here is a snippet of another song from that album.
Hold on to whatever makes you whole. Hold on, and you might make it home. Hold on, is this the only way we know? They are pushing us apart, 'cause there's a darkness in our hearts.
So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fun things happening when we hit 5,000 subscribers. That's like 30 or 25 more subscribers, and that's just amazing. I know that I haven't been posting much lately, and for you that didn't catch my latest video or the last video prior to this one, I got a cold and I'm like sweating the whole fucking time, but I'm also cold and it's just fucking annoying. And on top of that, I realized that like uploading DCS and other games is just like bringing the views down and the discovery rate and all of that, so I just stopped. My channel is too small, and it was like such a hard work to make it to like 5,000 subscribers that I really don't want to open a second channel. So therefore, that's not going to happen until maybe when we get to I don't know 10, 15, 20k subscribers, but. Yeah, whatever. So with that said, I'm sweating like a motherfucker. So with that said, Star Citizen has hit 500 million, and you probably already seen that. All the YouTubers, all the Kotakus, and all the like news articles and all that, we're talking about that. And my thoughts on that is cool, fine. That like CG is a company. And that company is delivering a product. Like, it doesn't matter if the product is good or not, they are delivering a product which is usable at this point, somewhat usable. It isn't what was promised, but it is a product. So it's basically like when you see a picture of a Big Mac and then you get a Big Mac in the McDonald's and it's just like shriveled up and just ugly and it's tasteless. That's basically it. That's Star Citizen. So they are a company, they're making money, and that's normal. And why should you be mad about, or why should I be mad about a company making money? Do I like it? I mean, I don't care. They're making money because they're selling ships, and people are buying ships because they like the game, or they want those ships to like just to have those ships in the future once the game gets released. But should you care about that? Not really. Because like, does it affect you? No. Are they scamming people? Well, it's like debatable, because like I already made a video about that, and it's gonna be like here. It's the most stupidest scam ever, if they're actually scamming people, because they have like 700, 800 employees. They have like they're renting spaces for those guys, and they're even outsourcing a few other companies to work for them. For example, equivalent. And like, if it is a scam, which is from my point of view, it is not. But if you think that it's a scam, just think about it. It would be the stupidest scam in the history of all scams. Now, with that said, the main topic of this video is gonna be, or I'm gonna try to keep it short, and I'm just gonna say one thing here. The next year is gonna be the take it or leave it year for Star Citizen. And here is why I think that. We're gonna get PES with 3.18, and we already saw how many times like 3.18 got postponed, and or for how long, and like the state of 3.17.2 after being in the PTU like twice. For me, it was unplayable. For most of us, for most of you guys that are watching this channel, I guess you're like having the same issues. Some of you have like I don't know, steel nerves, but I don't, and I can't fucking bear playing it anymore. But I'm waiting for 3.18. But after 3.18, we have 3.19 and then 4.0. That's what Chris said. We will see if this is gonna be true. But this major milestone is, or in Star Citizen terms, is gonna be a milestone, a major milestone, is gonna be a thing that's gonna like make it or break it. Because with server meshing, there are no more excuses. Squadron 42 should not be an excuse anymore. Or in other terms, if they release server meshing in 2023, and they still focus on Squadron 42, then you would know like what time it is, because they were always talking that like most of the tech is not here, you can't do this and this and that because server meshing, and like server meshing is a Jesus patch and all that. So once we get that server meshing or that Jesus patch, that will mean that there's gonna be a ton of content pouring down the pipeline. But we will see if that's gonna happen. So that's why I'm saying that, like, and you can tell me down in the comments if I'm right or wrong, or if you have another perspective. But I think that with server meshing, we will start understanding what Star Citizen is actually supposed to be. Because we are currently playing another game. This is not Star Citizen. This is like, hey, here's something while you wait for Star Citizen. It's basically like going to a restaurant, and while you're waiting for your main order, you're like just eating peanuts that are on the table. So like the thing that we're playing right now is just like peanuts off the table. So once we get server meshing, we will start understanding what Star Citizen is actually supposed to be in the mind of Chris Roberts and in the mind of the developers. Of course, there's going to be some balancing, and there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be added down the line, but we currently can't really say we can't be completely certain like what Star Citizen is going to look like in like 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And I'm saying this because people still think that you'll be fine just having an Aurora. And honestly, the closer we get to, this is just an example. There's a bunch of reasons, but this is just one of the reasons. The closer we're getting to server meshing, the more I understand that like you will not be able to jump from point to point with just an Aurora. You will need to have a bigger ship. I don't know what the like smallest ship that's gonna like be able to go through the wormhole to jump to Pyro, like what that ship is gonna be, because like it may be just like a freelancer, but also it may be a Carrack, and like nothing less than a Carrack can jump there. You never know, because yeah, it's top secret. It's not top secret, but it's just like Star Citizen, and they are constantly changing, because like even the developers don't know what the game is gonna be like, because like if you go and read the Q&A for the Cuddy Red and the whatever the com link for the Cuddy Red when it got released, you're gonna see that yeah, you're gonna be able to respawn inside of it, but you're not able to respawn inside of it. And you can search for that and you can find that, and that's it. Like if you don't trust me, fuck you. Honestly, like I said this and I had this on the screen like 15 fucking times already. But yeah, the game is constantly changing, and even they, the developers, do not know what it's gonna look like. So yeah, maybe you're not gonna like it. Maybe you're gonna find that like mining is super boring and super exhausting because you can only mine on, let's say, Stanton, but you're not gonna find Quantanium there because Quantanium is gonna be taken out and moved to Pyro, for example, because Pyro is lawless, because the higher the risk, the higher the reward. But in Stanton, because it has some laws and all of that, you're not gonna be rewarded by having that much Quantanium, and maybe you're just gonna be like scooping up backslides on Stanton, and you're gonna find it really boring and exhausting, and you're not gonna like it anymore, and you're gonna like reminiscent of the good old days of 3.17.2 when you could have like, I don't know, mined Quantanium on Stanton. But yeah, like the point that I'm trying to make is that like everything is gonna change, and the developers don't even the developers do not know what's gonna happen and how everything is gonna be balanced. And with death of a spaceman and all that coming, like nobody can actually say if this is the right game for you. There's gonna be even more time sinks, and you're gonna be like flying from Stanton to Pyro, from Pyro to Nyx, and maybe we're gonna get Odin or whatever the next system is. Maybe we're gonna get more systems in the next 2 years. Maybe, you never know. But like with all that, there's more time sinks, and you're just gonna spend more time with like they're gonna introduce pooping before they introduce like, I don't know, data running or some of the major mechanics in the game. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna introduce pooping first. But yeah, with all that, there's gonna be a lot of time sinks, and for all of you that are older, and I'm getting older, I'm 35. Kickstarter was like, it happened when I was 25. And in 10 years from now, I'm going to be 45. Like, I don't have a kid now, but I'm going to have a kid probably at some point. And how the fuck am I going to manage my time to like play the game if it's going to take me like just like, I don't know, 2 hours just to get to a point, and like I have to like shit 2 times, eat 7 times, and all of that, and you just like get to a point, and then yeah, I did nothing, but I need to log off because I have a life, basically. I mean, it's happening even now in the current state of the game, and it's gonna be even worse down the line, because like yeah, they're gonna introduce more and more time sinks. Some people are gonna praise CAG for the time sinks. Some people are not. But the fact is, like the second point is that if we don't have a pouring pipeline of content after server meshing is in, that's just gonna mean that their main focus is always gonna be Squadron 42. And the reason why I'm saying this is because they already promised, or they already like announced 2 more sequels or chapters. I don't know, whatever. So after the first one, which is like in development still, and we don't know when it's gonna get released, but after the first one, there's gonna be like at least 2 more. And if they're successful, and I already made a video about this, it's gonna be linked here. If they're successful, this is the gist of the video. If they're successful, CAG is gonna focus on Squadron 42 basically forever and keep the like Star Citizen on the backline or the backlog, whatever, for a longer duration of time, because yeah, like they will want to milk the cow, because it's gonna make him a lot of money, and if it makes him a lot of money, why make Star Citizen if Squadron 42 is making more money? They're gonna like continue developing Star Citizen, of course, but maybe it's still gonna be at this pace, and you know that this pace is not good. Like 10 years, I'm 35. In the next 10 years, we're maybe gonna get like 5 more systems, maybe, and a few more mechanics, or in the next 10 years, we may get a finished game that's like been finished for like 5 years. You never know. If they continue at this like snail pace, in the next 10 years, we're going to have basically the same game that we have right now, which is not going to be Star Citizen, which is not going to be the finished product. And I'm like not saying that like Star Citizen ever needs to be finished or that it needs to have like 100 systems and get released. No, I'm saying I talked about this with Space Tomato. I'm saying that like if you want to have a minimal viable product which like has all the game mechanics and I don't know, a dozen systems or maybe 20 systems, that is enough for Star Citizen for like a finished game that's gonna get released, even though it's released right now, and then you can just add to it and add to it forever, basically. But if in the next like year we don't see that like the pipeline has opened and that there's like a constant flow of a ton of fucking content for the game and a ton of like gameplay mechanics, then we will know that Squadron 42 is always gonna be their like primary focus. And even if like if it flops, it's probably it's maybe gonna like drag Star Citizen down with it. But if it doesn't, if it's a great game and people play the shit out of it and they love it, then they're, as I've said, they're gonna want to milk the cow, and yeah, everything goes down the drain because Star Citizen is always gonna be the side project that like funded the main project, and then they have the main project and that's it. And if that happens, I'm pretty sure that like most of you are not gonna be here anymore. So that is why I am saying that like next year we will see if that like it's gonna be a take or leave it situation, and like because there is not gonna be any more excuses. Like we had excuses for like yeah, the server take rate, the server load is too high, the servers can't handle that, and then the only excuse that they can make is yeah, we had like Squadron 42 is the focus. Or they can say, and they will probably say that, yeah, it's server meshing tier 0. It's server meshing. And I just have one thing that I wanted to say about server meshing. Go play PlanetSide 2. It got released in 2015. It is like, it has ground vehicles, air vehicles and ground vehicles. It has players with like guns and all that. It has mech suits. It has everything. It's not Star Citizen. It's not like as slow paced as Star Citizen is, but it has like 2,000 players or even more players on a server fighting each other all over like territory, and there's like just go play it or watch a video on it and you're gonna see how amazing it is for like 2015 when it got released, and that's like 7 years ago, and that's 3 years after Star Citizen started development, and when server meshing was not a thing, according to some people. And yeah, so once we get server meshing, and even if it's static server meshing, which it's gonna be, we will know if CEG as a development company is good enough to honor the contract and honor their word of like releasing Star Citizen and doing all the stuff that they said that they will. If the pace is still as slow as this one is, from my point of view, it's a leave it kind of a situation, because yeah, that just means that Squadron 42 is always going to be their main focus. And why would you, like, if Star Citizen is not developed enough to have like more fun for more than a month inside of it, then yeah, you can just like come back in a few years, and maybe come back in a few years until you die. Basically, it's stupid, but it's as simple as that. It's actually as simple as that. Like honestly, I think that, like, Chris Roberts is gonna retire before the game is finished. But that's just my thoughts. I'm grumpy, and I'm like I'm hot, but I'm cold, and all of that. So I'm cranky. So it's even worse now. And coming back to the first thing that I said, with like, are you gonna even like Star Citizen once it gets released or gets like closer or like more developed? You never know, because Star Citizen is a catch-all project, and the issue with like catch-all projects is that like it does do exactly what it like it's supposed to do. It like catches all, and you can see this in politics. Like there's a bunch of like catch-all politicians, and so they catch all the voters, and then the voters realize that holy shit, he's not the guy that I thought he was. And it's the same with products, it's the same with games. And honestly, I don't even know if anyone ever attempted a casual game like Star Citizen. But the problem with that is that, like, a lot of people are gonna be surprised once they see what the game is actually gonna be like, and then they're gonna just leave. And I'm not gonna leave because I like the casual aspect. I love the idea of the game of all games that's just gonna like be your FPS shooter, your tactical FPS shooter, or whatever. It's gonna have like ship-to-ship combat. It's gonna have vehicle combat. It's gonna have a bunch of shit. But some people are not going to be interested in that. Some people just maybe want to race. Some people want to do something else. It doesn't matter. But some people are not going to be interested in that, especially in the like RPG style of well, we don't really have an actual like RPG style of progression, but we will have a sort of an RPG style of progression down the line. So yeah, it's gonna be a turnoff for most people, and I don't know if you are one of those people. And like, how does this like connect with the next year and server meshing? Well, it does, because with server meshing, if we get more and more things, and if the process of hopefully, if this happens, and I'm hoping that it will, if we get more and more content pouring in into Star Citizen, we will start seeing if this is actually a game for us or not. If we made a bad investment, or if we made a fucking great investment. If your investment was like $45, you already got your like money's worth with like playing a couple of patches and grinding for all ships and all of that. You can come back and you can see the progress of the game and all that. So you already got your money's worth. But if you like invested more than $40, or if you invested like 20,000 as my friend did, then it's gonna be really, really bad if you realize that this game is not for you. Like, he is a collector, so that's fine, but still, next year he is going to see like a glimpse of what Star Citizen is gonna be like in the future. But I hope it's gonna be amazing. I hope that this is gonna be the best game ever, not the best space game ever, but the best game ever. But yeah, it's really hard to say. At this point, it's the worst game ever. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Tell me down in the comments what you think about this, because I want to open up a conversation about this, because I want to hear your thoughts on this. And if like if server meshing is here and the game continues like this like snail-paced development, because it is like watching a flower grow. And the issue is, you don't know what that flower is gonna be. Is it gonna be a rose? It's boring to fucking watch it. It's slow as shit, but it's growing. Something is happening, obviously. But is it gonna be a rose, or is it gonna just be a weed? Like, you don't know. Is it gonna be beautiful, or is it gonna be like, I don't know, smelly and disgusting? Because you really don't know. Are you gonna like it or not? Like, that's my point of view. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. And yeah, that's it for today. I promise that I'm going to be making a short one. This is the shortest that I can do at this point, because I'm so fucking tired. But thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's going to be a link down in the description of the video. And yeah, like, you're supporting me for buying equipment for this studio, and for like buying ships for Star Citizen to review them and to give them away and all of that. So if you want to support me, you know where the money is going to. And that's it. Thank you for watching again, and don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space, and bye.